How can I semiotically build visual communication blocks of meaning? 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, more. 1 brick does not make a wall. 1 semiotic quality cannot communicate the intended messaging on its own. 1 semiotic sign is encoded next to another to build meaning. Just as written theses or great novels use combinations of words to build deeper meaning, the visual realm utilizes semiotic signs. Let us discuss. Welcome to episode 6, season 3 of Semiosis 101, where we explain Charles Sanders Peirce's semiotic theory of semiosis, sign action, in design-centric terms. If you've watched Semiosis 101 episodes before, then you already know I am Dave Wood. I use Semiosis 101 on YouTube, Patreon and Substack to provide a design-centric translation of Charles Sanders Peirce's semiotic theory of semiosis, sign action. Why do you need Semiosis 101? Peirce's writing and terminology is very obtuse. On Semiosis 101, I translate Peirce's brilliant theory into language creators will understand and can follow. After all, we study design and illustration and not philosophy, so we need theory centered to creators' needs. Yes, that is why you need Semiosis 101. Season 3's semiotic theme is semiotic encoding, with a focus on how audiences make interpretations. What this season's theme means to you as visual communicators is that at long last you will see what semiotic signs can be or will be. We will build your confidence to encode semiotic sign action into your own designs or illustrations during your own ideation phase to enhance visual communication. Semiotically speaking, we are discussing semiotic signs, plural. A single semiotic sign is actually not a single sign. Okay, let me explain. Last week, we began to frame the lowest sign classification Peirce defined as part of 10 classes of sign. A qualisign that utilizes iconic representation to grammatically propose a quality as a semiotic sign of something else. This is the lowest form of encoding meaning as a color, a line, shape, etc. It is ephemeral and needs the audience to perceive it as a semiotic sign for another thing. But it remains the lowest perceptible meaning-bearing type of sign. What are the next, more powerful forms? Hit subscribe to this YouTube channel and I will explain. Later in the season, we will examine Peirce's 10 sign classifications from simple to complex. Before we are at that stage of understanding, we need to explain the underpinning of the theory to get you to that level of understanding. The official terminology Peirce employs to describe the lowest class of semiotic sign is a grammatic iconic qualisign. What now? A grammatic iconic qualisign. This is sign 1 in a class of 10 signs, ascending in complexity from this first sign. A grammatic iconic qualisign. Will you please just stop repeating those words? What? You want me to stop calling sign 1, which Peirce calls a grammatic iconic qualisign, a grammatic iconic qualisign? Yes, it's just word salad. What? A grammatic iconic qualisign is a word salad? Yes, stop it. I think you viewers and semioticians are getting the picture. Peirce's terminology may be accurate in the context of his theory, but it is problematic to the layperson. It is just too obtuse. So let Semiosis 101 help. In this episode, we will focus on not the complexity of terminology, but building more complex visual messaging. So let me quickly give you a quick and easy understanding of why Peirce runs 3 separate terms together. Concept, representation, interpretation, concept, etc. Semiosis, semiotic sign action, is not linear, but cyclic. An idea needs visually communicating concept, Peirce's object. That idea is visualized, representation, Peirce's representament. That visualized idea is decoded by the target audience. Interpretation, Peirce's interpretant. The idea put in the mind of the audience of what the visual means should be a facet of the idea we started with. I say facet rather than the full concept intentionally. The visual representation of the concept begins at the lowest semiotic sign action power of qualities, possibilities, familiarities, and resemblances. This needs to have an effect on the perception of the audience to interpret a quality as a semiotic sign for something else. This lowest level is only semiotically powerful enough to trigger perception of being meaning-bearing. That meaning is basic and weak without further support from more complex semiotic encoding. I keep referring back to a brick and architecture. A brick can become any building, but it needs other bricks to become something more. A municipal building in the heart of any city contains many bricks. It cannot be a municipal building without single bricks. Builders do not begin building the municipal building without foundations. We can think of the lowest class of semiotic sign as a single brick. It has the potential to contribute to building and communicating more complex meaning, just as a brick can contribute to a grand building. Just like the brick cannot be seen yet as the full building, a simple semiotic sign cannot be expected to convey the full meaning of the concept through its representation. It can only contribute toward that full meaning by helping to trigger interpretation in the audience. The full concept can only fully be conveyed in the minds of the target audience, interpreting what they see by nesting many lower level semiotic signs together to build more complex meaning. The semiotic power within any of the 10 classes of sign is built on nesting lower levels together, like Russian babushka wooden dolls. Just as a course of bricks cemented together can become load bearing, enabling more complex building to be built, semiotic sign classes' power to be meaning bearing relies on its own binding medium. Semiotic signs classes' power to be meaning bearing relies on its own binding medium. In the three-word salad of a name which Peirce utilizes to describe each of the 10 sign classes, the power I have discussed is there in plain sight. The first word describes the perception power of the sign. The second word describes how the meaning is represented. The third word describes the type of vehicle that the sign uses to carry the meaning. This is beginning to sound like a game of top trumps for semiotic sign action. The first word explains, in Peircean theoretical terms, the power the sign has to convey meaning to the audience. The second, the power of semiotic representation used. And the third, how the audience receives it. Let us put that into a designer-centric context. The first part of a class of semiotic sign can either be possibly suggesting, grammatic, or proposing, dissent, or employing an agreed understanding, argument, that the perceived meaning is what the audience perceives it as. A semiotic sign, A, is either possibly suggesting it's X or proposing it is X, or employing established visual language that A is agreed to mean X in the context of use. The semiotic sign utilizes 3 levels of representation of the concept to be visually communicated. In our example, the second word relates to whether X is semiotic encoded in A, using iconic, indexical, or symbolic representation. The semiotic sign may visualize A to mean X by using lines, shapes, marks, colours, etc. to suggest familiarity, iconic, to aspects of X's quality. The second word at higher semiotic sign action levels could use representation to have more of a direct connection, indexical, to X, or a social cultural agreement that when the audience sees A, they understand it does mean X in this context, symbolic. The final word in the 3-word salad explains the sign vehicle used to convey the meaning. The lowest sign vehicle we have so far explored is a Qualisign. As a sign vehicle, a Qualisign is ephemeral. It is on the edge of perception. Once the audience perceives meaning bearing, the Qualisign semiotically evaporates. It has done its job. It is a phenomenological moment on the edge of perception, but without it, semiotic signs would remain dormant. Think of a Qualisign not as a tangible designed thing, but as a moment the audience begins to perceive the visual as meaning bearing. The third word, at higher semiotic sign action levels, delivers the semiotic sign either as a single-use sign in the form of a sin sign, sin as in single and not naughty, or as a leggy sign. These terms need more time to unpack, so I will return to these in later episodes. So now we have context to Peirce's word salad. In designer-centric terms, each of his 10 classes of sign draws its power from an interplay between the perception power of the sign, how the meaning is represented, and the type of sign vehicle that the sign uses to carry the meaning. Perception, encoding, delivery. So let's try again. A. Grammatic, iconic, Qualisign. Possible, familiarity, instant. Any better? We can say that the first step to encoding semiotic science is to trigger perception. By utilising iconic representation to visualise possible familiar qualities the target audience will perceive, this subconscious triggering is instantaneous, if perceived. A moment before, the audience had no perception of possible meaning. Now they subconsciously interpret a possible meaning, which kickstarts the audience's further interpretations. A small quality with other qualities begin to build more and more complex meaning. These visual qualities have subconsciously moved the interpreter from no perception to perception from what they see visualized. That instance of perceptual movement is where the Qualisign acts as a sign vehicle for the audience. It triggers perception and then is no longer important. The visualized quality is in plain sight. It is semiotically dormant until perceived as meaning-bearing. Designers and illustrators already employ this visual trick in their work. You do not believe me? Consider the arrow hidden within the FedEx logo. First, you do not see the arrow, then you see it. It is and is not there. The negative space that forms the letters of FedEx also provide the quality of an arrow shape. The moment of perceiving the arrow, the audience moves from one state to the other. In illustration 2, this technique has been employed for millennia. Consider an example of Joey Guidoni's Peirce, where the illustrator has used the tricorn hat to suggest the noose. In these examples, I'm not saying to you that these completed designs or illustrations are a Qualisign. So please do not get distracted. We are focusing on the moment of when you perceive a quality as meaning bearing. Come back next week where we will semiotically cement these semiotic building blocks of meaning into more solid examples. I am Dave Wood, a design educator and researcher, a published design author, and I've worked commercially as both a freelance illustrator and graphic designer. The guy behind the theory, Charles Sanders Peirce, was a philosopher, a mathematician, and a theorist, but he was not a creative. Each week on this Scouse-Scot Semiosis 101 YouTube channel, I will post at least one free 10-minute explainer episode on an aspect of Peirce's pragmatic semiotic theory. Each free YouTube episode features a take-home piece of applicable semiotic theory, and they do interconnect to build up your understanding of semiosis. Each free Semiosis 101 YouTube 10-minute episode will use design-centric terms instead of theoretical language. As well as the free YouTube episodes, I have 2 further Semiosis 101 semiotic resources you can subscribe to. Semiosis 101 producer roles are now available on Patreon. If you take out a paid Patreon Semiosis 101 patronage, you will get access to all the future season episodes months before they get published on YouTube. As a Patreon Semiosis 101 patron, you will automatically become a Semiosis 101 producer and get a name credit on all future YouTube episodes. Depending on which of the 4 producer tiers you choose, you will also get access to behind the scenes insights, cool Semiosis 101 Patreon merchandise, and other goodies for Semiosis 101 to continue making semiotic episodes. As a Patreon Semiosis 101 producer, you will be financially supporting the sustainable future of Semiosis 101 to keep explaining Peirce's semiotic theory. To become a Patreon Semiosis 101 producer, the link is in the description. I have a written semiotic resource available on the Semiosis 101 Substack. Here I have semiotic support materials for both free and paid Substack subscribers. There are full annotated reading lists, episode transcripts, 5-minute semiotic reads, plus other goodies and exclusive Semiosis 101 Substack merchandise. The Substack link is in the description. As a fellow creative and a published design author, I also have a link in the description to my main Scouse-Scot website. If you're interested in reading my semiotic Rosetta Stone academic writing, then you can visit my academia.edu link in the description. Any other books on Peircean semiotics or design I've mentioned in the episodes are also listed in the description. Check them out too. Thanks for watching. Check out the other Semiosis 101 episodes, like and share them with your friends. And hit the bell and subscribe buttons to be notified when next week's free Semiosis 101 episode is published. You can also follow Semiosis 101 on the socials for updates. It is at Semiosis 101 on Instagram and Threads. See you all again next week for more Semiosis 101 to help illustrators and designers to enhance your visual communication skills.